Alright, so this is basically a video saying, this is awesome, the setup here, and this is the coolest setup I can have. This using a UCAM 4 on a Lenovo. So, my thing is, when you're dealing with, like a business, it's totally different than you being an employee. So having a car. So starting like a car business, okay, from the very beginning, you have um, let's just say like a parking lot full of cars, okay. So you have the parking lot full of cars. They're bought auction cars, okay. Taking the stereo out, okay, and selling the stereo on eBay, first step. Um, Taking out the airbag from the door, that is worth a lot of money on eBay. Taking that out, putting that on eBay, second part. Uh, then going to the rims or the actual wheel of the car. That would be, the next part, and then putting that on eBay and then selling it, using the. I'm not sure if you would use the what do you call it? An actual software or what where you make the ad. So you would use that to rank the product higher, since in the U.S. you're just dealing with the U.S. It will rank higher. So so having that parking lot full of cars, and doing those, so you have the radio, you have the airbags, and you have the uh, and the actual wheel. So if it's what am I dealing with? Toyota Corolla, okay, or if it's uh, basically Toyota Corolla, and there's a Porsche, and so taking the wheels, taking the stereo, and taking the airbags, and then listing that on eBay, and doing that as fast as you can. So if you want to start a business, things need to get going as fast as you can. And then using there's an eBay listing tool which you can use, and it's really it's probably the most it's really similar to Google, or to Google AdWords. Yeah, it's really similar to Google AdWords. And so like say you want business, you're starting a business, buying cars at auction, taking these three products out, putting everything on eBay, and starting your business that way. As far you want to sell, car parts, a car part business. So that pretty much, is what I'm dealing with, as far as, how to sell those products, okay, how to sell those products, and basically, having a warehouse full of those products, renting a warehouse, so you need money for that. So eventually renting a warehouse, and having the products there, okay, or having it in an office, that is, that's the step of having this kind of this eBay. Well, it's not an eBay store. An eBay is just part of a company. So I'm talking about, having all these body parts stored in a building, basically, and or in a warehouse. So you're constantly buying cars at auction, and you're putting everything in the warehouse, and you're paying for that warehouse. Getting to that step is 100% hard, but can you get to that step? Yeah, you definitely can. It takes a lot of brains, I guess, and balls to do that. But it's a lot of saying, okay, so this is our budget, and can we get a warehouse, or do we need a warehouse now? Which, a warehouse is really awesome. You put all those products in. So does our budget have a warehouse, and or can we get a warehouse? So my whole thing is, this company that I work for, the whole warehouse, what do you call it? The whole warehouse thing needs to be done. It needs to be made, and so where the parts, are stored, these parts need to be sold on eBay. So, having the Google AdWords type of advantage where you are above your competition because you use, the eBay software provided is what I'm working on, and that is really, I'm using Blue Orchid Design Studio LLC. That's what I talked with the manager about. So yeah, doing it that way is really, really, I guess, interesting. I mean, it has to be a little bit below market value, so the competition, so you're always above the competition, basically. And if you rank yourself higher, then that's awesome. But it does have to be below the competition. And, and then once someone does buy the product, you take it, you put it in the box, you ship it out, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there's nothing like magical or secretive about it. It's all pretty much, it's all, you need to have this kind of vision towards, what this company can be, and then it's like, everything falls into place. So yeah, having your price always below the competition, and these car parts, they do sell around the U.S. You can ship things internationally, but the payment for international shipping, and if it's heavy, then you're not making really any money. So getting that price below the competition, that's when you have that selling point. That's when someone will buy the product. If you don't have it there, then no one's going to buy your product because the competition is lower. And if your competition lowers the price, if they see that, then you lower your price even more, and you constantly keep on your products because that's how your products sell. So if you want some kind of magic, your product selling on eBay, well, it's not going to sell because your competition is always going to be higher than you. And if your competition is higher than you, your product will not sell. So yeah, like the example with the Bar 3 shirt, the Macy's shirt, I honestly think that I can rank it to be higher, but because the price is so competitive, it's so down there. And it is relevant. Okay, it is relevant. I mean, cars are relevant. Cars are relevant now. They're driving on the road. If it's so relevant, then I get the sale. Even if I'm losing money, well, I need to build eBay reputation. Whatever reason I sell it is whatever reason I sell it. But if you have, that if you have your price, which is lower than the competition, okay, so it's your price, and it's lower than competition, okay, your product will get sold. Your product will get sold fast. Now, if you're buying cars in auction, great. You basically, the price is unknown for whatever the car is paid, but you're making that profit because you're underneath the competition. So this is the competition, and this is you. So the competition is here. This is you. You will get sold because your competition is right here. Your competition, your product on eBay will get sold faster, and people are fighting for these spots to get their product sold. Okay, and they see, and their marketers see, and their sales people see, and the faster you can get to having a lower price, people, right, they see and they buy your product because competitively it is sold less than what the competition has. So this is you, this is your product, and this is competition. And if this is let's just say a wheel for a Toyota Corolla wheel for $300, or let's just say $100, and you sell it, and you're selling it for $90, or you're selling it for $80, okay, and you have enough time where you have a buy it now, you're going to get that sale. It's just a matter of time if you can get on eBay fast enough so their seller does not mark their price down to 80, okay? So if that happens, you'll get the sale. You'll get it, you'll sell a product, and that's just how the eBay marketplace works. So there is no magic, there is no anything. It's strictly economics. It's strictly economics, and just like anything else that you're dealing with, strictly economics. So like selling the Bar 3 shirt, okay, are all the marketers falling below, right away that I'm selling it for 99 cents? No, They're not, because they know that eventually their product will be bought. If your product wants to be, if you need to sell products like this, if you need things snappy, then you price your product on eBay below what the competition has. Okay, strictly economics, strictly it's all economics. It's all what your uh, you always have to be below the competition. And usually the competition looks and the competition says, hey, their product is below. Okay, we need to make our product below. They're making all these sales. We're not making all these sales. And if they're smart, they do it. If they're not smart, then they don't do it. And they're just whatever. They're, whatever the fuck, whatever the hell they're doing, whatever, they're by the wayside. They don't care. They're just there. They're parked and they're waiting for a sale and they're thinking it's going to be sold when it's not. So, car auction cars, okay, selling those products, having a business, great. Making a business this way, and selling on eBay below, what your competition has it for, and, researching competition, saying, hey, this is this, and this is where it has to go, below, and if if the wheel is, say, for example, $100, if the wheel is $100 and then you price it as $90, then you'll get that sale, because people, when they see that it's $10 difference or maybe $20 difference for $80, you will make that sale. That's just how economy works. So, getting every car onto eBay and then selling that car for a lower price, or selling that part for a lower price, like a radio for a lower price, will result in the sale. So selling that wheel for a lower price, which the competition has a higher price, and you sell it for a lower price, you definitely will get that sale, because you're in the market, and your product will get sold. Just like anything, just like a house, okay? If you are under the market, your house will get sold. If you lose maybe 10,000, if you lose 20, 30, 40,000, or 50,000, it's better than if you don't sell a house at all. If you're waiting a year, or if you're waiting 2 years, you sell that house for that amount of money, and you're smart in that way, that you get some kind of money in that market, your house will sell. So same thing as a car part on eBay. If you're underneath the market, your eBay product will sell. So strictly economics, and I explain it with the Bar 3 shirt. So I'm gonna ship that out Monday, and the customer's gonna get it. The quality of the shirt is it is new. It is out of the packaging. It does have tags on it. Is it used because it was worn once? Well, you can go, and say, no, it's not new, or yes, it is, but, does it have any markings on it? Does it have anything? No, it doesn't. So yeah, I may even have, put it up as used, because it is used, so, actually. But the fact that it's a bar through shirt, the fact that it does have a brand name on it, you know, that's in and of itself, you know, brand name. Just like with a car part, it, you know, like Toyota Corollas, Porsches are a lot up there, but you know, so yeah. If you're talking about literally, uh, if you're talking about, like I said, on eBay, you know, constantly looking at price and saying, this is my competition right here, and this is what I'm selling my product for, below the competition, okay? Um, your product will get bought. Your product will get bought faster, and if you can get your product in bulk and a lot, then your product will be sold so fast that you're constantly getting sales. Okay, you know, that's my job. That's my job as a marketer, or as a salesperson, to make sure that that right there is this is the competition right here, and that's that, and that you right here, that your product is always below the competition, and you constantly have to research that, and you constantly have to make your product less than the competition, because that's just the reality of you know, eBay and the sales market, the automotive sales market. So yeah, that's my that's the reality of a market. Okay, always sell below your you know, your competition. And cars are on the street. Cars are in demand. Okay, so if you constantly sell below your competition, then your products will get sold like this, okay, like that, because people are looking on eBay, people are asking questions, you know, if the product is used or if the product is new, if the product is really, you know, if cars are in demand, cars are always going to be in demand, cars break, you need a part, so having underneath that, you know, having that price, you know, having that price underneath the competition right here, okay, your product will get sold, all right? And if you buy, you know, the car at auction, great, you know, you're selling the part, and this is, you know, it's legal, you know. Obviously it's legal because businesses are doing this, and you pretty much, yeah, always be below the competition. This is the competition, this is you. Always be below the competition. So always be below competition. A, B, B, C. A, B, B, C. Okay, A, B, B, C, and this is your competition. Always be below competition. If you're always below competition, then you will get your product sold, and you will get your product sold fast. If you know, the competition will go below you, well, then you have to make your price lower, because your competition sees what the hell is going on, and they try to make your price lower. So it's in those, you know, sometimes it's in those seconds where you have to, you know, just be below your competition. And in demand, a product that's in demand, you know, cars will always be in demand. People will be looking for cars. The amount of people that have cars in the U.S., cars riding on the road, and cars breaking, different parts of the cars breaking, that is basically what, you know, what the business that I'm working for does. A car breaks, it needs a part. Can it get a part online? Yeah, great. Can it get the part for a low price? Yeah, it can. Can we lower the price that low? we can lower it below the competition, and we get that sale. We get that sale like that. I get paid, the business gets paid, everyone's happy. Does anyone get fired? No one gets fired because, you know, the market on eBay, which should be selling, where your product should be sold, you're always below the competition. Always be below competition. Always be below competition, and you're right here. Okay, so you're here, in your competition, or this is your competition, and this is you. Okay. So always be below competition. Always be below competition. That is pretty much what you're dealing with, what you're talking about when you're talking about sales, when you're talking about pretty much when you're talking about sales. So if you're doing that, if you're always below the competition, then your product will get sold. And cars are in demand, and it's pretty much a matter of, can you get there first? Okay, can you list your car for a lower price first? And if you can, your product will get bought because it's below the competition. Okay, so just from this video, remember that, always be below competition. Always be below competition. ABBC. If you remember ABBC, your product will always get sold. So, so with Blue Lurky Design Studio LLC, the popularity that you have just got brighter. The popularity that you have is one thing, okay? If you want popularity, good. If you want business, then always be below competition. If you're always below competition, then you're going to get your product sold. So, so that's kind of my theory on, sales, and what you need to do to be, to always beat your competition. You need to be always here. Okay, always be below competition. This is your competition. ABBC. Okay, if you do that, you will have a company. You will keep your job. You will, everything will be literally how it should be. Okay. If you don't, then your job, you will not have your job. You will lose your job. Your job will be gone. Your job will be non-existent, because as a salesperson, you don't understand the market on eBay, and you don't understand that your product here needs to be sold for a lower price. So, as far as, quickly listing the getting all, the car parts and listing it on eBay quickly, doing that as fast as you can, and then working on prices, lowering the prices, $10, $20, $30 lower, and then that's how you make the sale. That's what people look for. People look for a deal. People don't look for, hey, is it market value? This shit's never going to get sold. Sorry, this is never going to get sold. So, after a lot of research, after a lot of analysis on what's going on in markets, like my strong belief is that if you're, always be below competition, and you have competition here, always be below competition. This is from a movie, and it's pretty stupid, but always be below competition is where you need to be. This is competition. This is you. So if you do that, you will keep your job. If you do not do that, you will not keep your job. You will lose your job because you don't know what the F is going on, or you'll just be, like somewhere in a cloud, and you'll be flying because you don't know shit. You don't know what's going on, and your mind is somewhere. It's flying somewhere around. So yeah, basically my whole thing is always be below competition. ABBC. If you remember ABBC, you will get your shit together. You will get your sales done. If you're not ABBC, then guess what? The competition will be here. The competition will be, you'll be done. And I'm talking about, any kind of outlets, any kind of marketing outlets, whether it's eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, where they're directed to eBay, Motors.com, any kind of outlet, anywhere, any kind of marketing outlet, you will keep your job. Okay. Me, either doing web development or doing sales, I understand sales a lot more since I learned about it a lot more, and pretty much, to keep that sales job, okay, you always be below competition. Always be below competition. This is competition. Always be below competition. Just like anything, just like your life, if there's competition, you have to bring in sales, talking about sales ticket, you have to have a lower sales ticket than anyone, and you have to be in demand also. You have to be in demand. You have to be popular. In music, it's all about popularity. If you're not popular, no one gives a shit. If you're popular and your ticket prices are decent, and you will get those shows. But in music, it's more about popularity. More than anything, it's more about popularity. In sales, it's more about, is a product in demand? Is a product priced less than the competition? If it's priced less than the competition, then your product will get bought. So that's kind of what is always going on in markets, where you always be below competition and always be future thinking. Like cars break, people need parts. Yeah, okay, so always be here, and then if your competition is, if the price is above and they have the same product, guess what? Your product will be sold. How fast will it be sold? I don't know. Sales is all about, can you get there first, and can you sell it first? And if you can do that, great. If you can't do that, then you have a problem. You have an issue. You have, your sales job is not going to be, you're not going to have your job. You're going to lose your job because you suck at your job, because you don't understand markets. Okay? And if you don't understand markets, then you're SOL, you're shit out of luck. You'll not get your job. You'll get a sales job somewhere, or you'll get a customer service job, which is fine, which is awesome, which you're making money. But a sales job, totally different than customer service. And so yeah, always be below competition, and that's it. That honestly, that's where I'm coming from with sales. And as far as car parts go, and your warehouse, you have a warehouse of parts, and eventually companies have to do that. But that's the kind of sales. that's the kind of sales, that's how a market works. So I hope you like this video, and this is Blue Orchid Design Studio LLC production, I guess. Blue Orchid Design Studio LLC production, and my website's at bldsstudio.com. And I probably have to revamp that to sales, since I'm doing sales now, since I'm kind of transitioning, and I mean using online software, online tracking software, but doing pretty much using third-party software to monitor, to track sales, which it's good. You can do that. The main thing is your always be below competition. If you're always below competition, if you're here, then your product will get sold. This is the competition. This is you. Okay, always be below competition. So if you're always be below competition, then guess what? Your product's going to get sold, and you are going to keep your job, and you're going to be excited, and you're going to be happy. A legitimate business where you have real products. Those products get shipped. You can see those products get shipped. The customer writes a review, the customer's happy. If you lie about your product, or you say your product is this or this, like there's some things in the shirt listing that I have to tell the the buyer that, hey, look, it's been worn. Is that okay? It's this. It's the little stickers are missing. He said it's okay, or she. So all these things play into, will the sale get made? Okay, being sending 100% an honest product. Will the customer like it? Yeah, the customer like it. The product is good. The company is in business. Everyone's happy. I'm happy. I get to keep my job. Literally, all of these factors play into, does the customer get exactly what they want? If the customer gets exactly what they want, good review. If the customer didn't get what they want, it's a bad review, and your company goes out of business because one bad review screws up everything else, because you're not doing your work, you're not doing your shit. So me working as an employee, the company has their business together, and forgetting, saying, even one bad review, you're fired. You suck. You didn't do your job right. You're shit. Get out. Go to hell, because you screwed up the company that you're working for. So doing that for a company, yeah, they're literally is nothing that you can do more than, if the customer didn't get things that they like, then pretty much you're screwed. You lose your job, and you just go on to the next job thinking, what the hell did I do? What the fuck happened? Sorry, what happened? And customer didn't like the product. The customer is number one. If the customer is not number one, if you're thinking that the customer is number two, or the customer is number three, or the customer is number one, if the customer doesn't like the product, if you don't get a good rating, you suck. You're shit. Go home. No one likes you. Everyone hates you because you screwed up the sale, and you should just go to hell. Doesn't matter what the hell happened. Customer's number one. So the reason people lose their jobs, customer, if it's in sales, the reason people keep their job in sales is because they know, they keep the customer at number one. So, and that, in our society, customer is number one. If customer's not number one, you're not doing your job. And if you're not doing your job, you get fired or from a job. Because you're not worth the job. You're shit. Okay? It doesn't matter if you're nice, to everyone, and you want to screw up or you screwed up the sale, or you couldn't. No one gives a shit. The only thing that people give a shit about in sales is the product. Always be below competition. Is a product priced below competition? If the product is priced below competition, then you get to keep your job. If the product is above competition, then you literally do not, then you get fired, then you're shit, okay? So always be below competition. Always be below competition, your competition, okay? So, as far as eBay sales company, you always, sorry, you always getting all the products on eBay as fast as you can, couple of days, getting, in your lot, doing everything, putting it on eBay, and looking at competition always be below competition. ABBC, always be below competition. And here's your competition. If you have your product here and if it's lower, you'll get the sale. Okay, so if your competition is here, you're never gonna be you're never gonna sell that product. That product will always be here. Okay, always be here. And your competition will sell the product. Okay, or if you're here and your competition is here, they will sell a product and you suck. You're here. So you always have to always be below competition. Always be below competition. You'll sell a product. Here, okay, if you're here, honestly, and your competition is below you, you suck. You're never going to sell a product. It's never going to sell. And you'll be sitting and you'll be thinking, what the hell happened? I suck. And what is going on? Relevancy, cars are always on the road. Cars are always driving. Okay? Cars will always be, your parts will always be needed. You're shipped in the U.S. There's a lot of cars breaking in the U.S. right here. So having the business, like this, always be below competition. This is your competition. Always be below competition. So, if you have that here, always be below competition, you'll be selling. If you have your competition below you, always having the product for less, you will never get a sale. Because that's how the world works. So yeah, if opening up a business, always be below competition. ABBC. And in fact, I'm going to write that and just to show everyone that how the market works, and if you have that, that is great. That is awesome. You're doing your stuff as a salesperson, actually, because you understand what the hell is going on. If you don't do that, you're SOL. So, I mean, getting, all of the everything together, posting everything on eBay, having everything on eBay, being below the market, you're being below the competition with a product that's relevant. Honestly, that is, I mean, that's that's what sales is. And so yeah, always be below competition. And yeah, that pretty much is, how a successful business that can rise from, nothing, rise from nothing and get to something, get to here. See? Get from nothing to something because, you're thinking about your competition. Are you thinking about ways of marketing, of different channel marketing? You have to be thinking about that also, because if you're not thinking about that, then if you're not thinking about different ways of where you can market your product, eBay, Amazon, if you're not thinking about that, then you're SOL also. eBay is a good place, but there's places like Amazon, there's places like Motors.com. There's websites where they have motors selling or car parts selling for a price, and you basically, if you list your price for a lower price there where, motor parts are bought, then you will get your product sold. You will get to keep your job. You will make money. You will get, yeah. So yeah. Honestly, in all of honesty, if you don't agree with always be below competition, then you're going to be SOL, or always be below competition. This is your you're going to be SOL, okay? And if you're SOL, then you're just SOL. No one cares. No one gives a shit. Because you didn't do your shit right. And if you don't do your shit right, no one gives a shit. No one cares. No one cares about you or about your job or about how you live in society. The only person that cares is you. If you don't give a shit, no one's gonna give a shit. If you give a shit, people will give a shit. Okay, so so this company that I'm doing business for, that I'm helping, these, always be below competition. That's number one. IT websites. You put their product on different websites that have similar products to what you have, that you have used car parts, and then those car parts will get sold because you are below market value on all those websites. So the thing with being always be below your competition, ABBC, is number one. So, in society, in this world, yeah, competition is key. Okay, if they have an advantage against you, with, having a lower price, or here's you and here's your guy. If okay, so this is your competition. If they have a lower price and they have the same product, they will win. They will be the ABBC, always be below competition. This here, right here, is your competition, always be below competition. They will be here, they will win. And you will lose. And you will be on eBay forever and ever, and you will not get shit sold because, yeah, your shit may be relevant. It may be relevant. But is the price below is the price below your competition? For cars are on the road, cars are driving. You need to sell, you need to sell the car part. Are you below your competition in the market where you're at? So in eBay, the car market, you list your product on eBay. If your competition is here, okay, right here, so you're here, so you're below your competition, you will get sales. If your competition is here with a higher price, guess what? It's not going to get the sale. So you have to, on every sale, go and you have to sell. Okay, and it counts as seconds. Okay, if your market value is here, okay, or if you're below your competition, you will sell. Okay, so always be below competition here, and here is your competition. So, and cars, yeah, cars are on the road, cars are relevant, cars are, always going to be on the road. So, in the U.S., if if you're ABBC, always be below competition right here, see? If you're here, you're going to get the sale of whatever person needing that part that needs to be fixed. You will ship. Those products will get sold, because, cars are relevant. Cars need to be sold. You're doing your job. You're doing your shit. Okay? If you're not doing your shit, guess what? You can be replaced. You can get another person. And because in this life, people don't know what the hell is going on or not going on, or things are too hard, or things are, whatever. But the market is a market. If you want to go, below market and sell that product for below market in the right area, in the right car area, you will get the sale. If you don't, then you're going to be SOL. Okay, so, and then, yeah, you're not making money, your manager's not happy, whatever the hell else shit is going on. Okay, so always be below your competition. ABBC. That's the main thing of this video, and that's pretty much how a sales job works, and you will be successful at sales. And talking to your manager and saying, look, let me do my job, you can do your job, everyone will be happy. Okay, web development, pretty much different. Pretty much web development is, it's about theory, and it's about knowing theory, and it's about basically math, okay, and learning all that, and which I love web development, because it's always that puzzle that you have to fix. But just studying different things, going into a different area, doing having like sales, and knowing that strictly economics, strictly economics speaking, that, oh, sorry, that, always be below competition. Always be below competition. This is your competition. If you can do that in the right market, your shit's right. You got your shit together, and uh, that's just it. You have your shit together. Everyone's happy. And that's it. That's basically my understanding of the market, of a market, and how the market works and how the market will work. As far as car parts, it's about competition. It's about beating your competition. It's about being, always be below competition. Always be below competition, and you're good. If your competition is above you, or if their price is above, you're good. If their price falls below, you will not get the sale. And you are SOL, you're shit, no one likes you, go home, who cares about you, you don't matter, do not matter, and no one cares, okay? Because you didn't do your job. You didn't do in sales what you should be doing. So, always be below competition. Always be below competition, and you're good. As far as, car sales goes, as far as, like music, it's all about popularity and how popular you get. And how creative you are with your music. Do you have the next thing? Synth. Synth is the next thing. That's the thing that's going on now. Do you have that? Do you talk to people that matter? Do you talk to musicians? Do you talk to people that really, really matter? Or are you just, spinning your wheels and trying to do something which will get you nowhere? If you're talking to the right people, if you're doing whatever the hell, basically talking to the right people, learning from new things, and then just being a musician that way, you will get somewhere. If you don't, if you're not looking into the future, then you're SOL. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work for you. Who cares? No one gives a crap, okay? And basically, that's, you're SOL. You're shit out of luck because you're not looking into the future. You're not thinking, what the hell is going on? So, basically, my thing is, working at a job where, you're always be below competition. You're always below competition. Your price is always below competition. That literally is, that is just, where you are. You're ABBC. You're always below competition. Always below competition. Your competition is here. Okay, always below competition. So and will you keep your job? Yes, you will keep your job because your job needs you. Okay, your job require you. You will keep your job. Basically, doing that basically doing that every day and keeping up with that, and that will get you where, you know, as far as a salesperson, where you need to be. If you don't, always be below competition. If your price is not always below competition, you will not have a job. So always be below competition. As far as car parts go, as far as businesses go, as far as, well, car part business place, that, you know, that's how, you know, a car business works. That, you know, there's a lot of details that go in, and like financing, keeping, you know, the rent, keeping the employees, but when you're always be below competition, ABBC, then you always, you know, and keeping all the marketing channels up, you will always be there. You will honestly, in as far as sales goes, you will, you know, you will always beat the competition on eBay or anywhere else. So yeah. So it's been an hour, and so yeah, this is Blue Lurkey Design Studio LLC, BLDS, at bldstudio.com, which it kind of has a lot of marketing things, which I love, but I honestly think that, you know, sticking to the more business aspect, where, okay, eBay listing, providing eBay listings, which, or as a marketer, as a salesperson, working with clients that way, that's like, you know, a better way, a better route to go. You know, ABBC, always be below competition. So you know, doing that, having that kind of having that, you know, keeping on that track and just working on that, and getting success, you know, in that route. Yeah, that you know, that's just reality. That's how things are. But yeah, if honestly, you know, last thing, if, you know, car business, okay, so you have all your products in your lot, you take the pictures, you know, this of the stereo, of the, of the wheels, of the airbags, of everything. You take all of that, and you you put that on eBay, and you have that there. So you know, you have that on eBay, and then you look at the competition, and then you price your price lower than the competition. So always be below competition. Okay, ABBC. Then the products will sell. If you don't do that, too bad. And, you know, and then packaging the item and then shipping it, you know, that's what basically, you know, that's the requirement. So, you know, of any eBay company or any eBay business, where you put, you know, you put all the products together and then you ship them, and, you know, you're a valid employee. You get an office, you get a name on your desk, you get all this stuff, because you know what the hell you're doing. If you don't know what the hell you're doing, you will not get an office. You will not get a name on your desk. You will not do shit. The only thing you will do is sit back in your car and go home, because you don't know what the hell's going on. You don't know anything about ABBC. You don't know anything about any kind of marketing channels that are out there, you don't know shit. So, following, the ABBC, always be below competition, and then doing the, what kind of marketing channels can you put your product in and sell your product, that's just, that is how, that's how you keep your job as a salesperson. That's how you, basically, that's how the market works. So, yeah, that is just, that's just how life works. And if you don't want to follow that, then you're SOL, and go home, you're shit, no one gives a shit about you, and that's just how it is. So okay, last thing, Blue Lurky Design Studio LLC, bldsstudio.com, just to see the kind of projects I worked on, and the kind of projects that I want to work on, I guess, and yeah, basically, I really need to revamp that website and just, get that to a point where it has, the different eBay aspects of it, which I'm really interested in, and yeah, that's kind of, what's going on right now, and it's getting really dark. So yeah, that's the idea. So yeah, my name is Edgar Zotov of Blue Lurky Design Studio LLC. That's BLDS LLC, and yeah. So pretty much that, how the eBay market works is what I just explained. And if you want to get sales, buy cars, buy auction cars, and sell the product, sell their parts to different to people in the US on eBay, and always be below your competition. And cars are relevant, cars are still driving on the road, they're relevant. Always be below competition. If you're ABBC, you're good. If your price is below, your product will get bought. It depends how much you bought your car at auction for, but your product will always get bought. And as more cars get out of the lot, more cars come in, everyone's happy, I'm happy, the company's happy, I did my job, and that literally is how sales works. And I've been in sales. I've loved sales all the time. I've loved marketing all the time, and having this mindset of what a market is and how a market works, and it's just it literally all right, so that's been an hour, 8 minutes, and I hope you guys enjoy this. It's pretty much how, like, my vision of how an eBay business works, of how a eBay salesperson works. And if you do it, you do it. If you do not do it, like I said, SOL, shit out of luck, go home, no one cares, you're shit, who cares? Doesn't really matter. So yeah.